Welcome guys to Introduction to Graphic Design. Today module, I will take you through the detailed explanation of what is graphic design and how this came to evolve. Now, important questions to note before we continue. Number one, what is graphic design? Number two, how did this evolve? Right? Then number three, when did the profession come into existence and why? I know. Just sit back and ask yourself these questions. What is graphic design? If really you want to become a professional in your field, then you have to know the in and out of your job. Okay, so I will take you through this important question and then we'll get to know what the whole of graphic design is all about. Definition. The term graphic design can refer to several artistic and professional disciplines that focus on visual communication and presentation. Yes, just as you see, the term graphic design is connected of what? Two words, graphic and design. So graphic focus on the visual communication, while the design focus on what? The presentation, how viewers viewed your graphic artwork. All right. Now, just as you know, design is a means or like a way of coming up with something to be able to present it in a different format or way. Now, while the graphic is all about what? Visual communication, just as I said earlier. So therefore, there are various methods are used to create and combine symbols, images, and words to create what? A visual representation of idea and message. Please get this thing right, okay? If you by any means will design, make sure that is the visual side is very clear, and at least make sure that your presentation is very wow. Okay, so with these two, you make up of what is called graphic design. Then example, before we continue, I would like to share with you some example, different example of what graphic designs. Okay, we have a logo design, we have flyer design, we have brochure design, we have different kind of graphic design. Okay, but before that, I will introduce you to one site called Behance, and in this site, Behance.net is a site for graphic design inspiration. If you are looking for a site where you want to get inspired or some sample of graphic design, you can run to Behance. It's one of my favorite sites that whenever I'm looking for inspiration of graphic design, I run to and then see different kind of flyers or logo or whatever that I'm after or I'm looking for. So quickly with me, let me share with you my screen. All right, guys. This is Behance.net. All right, so let's search for flyer. All right, guys, right before you on the screen, you can see different good examples of what? A graphic designs. Okay, these are different poster design, flyer design, social media a flyer, some business flyer template, and a lot of things. Okay, all these are different example of what? A graphic design. Let me open up this one. Wow. Now, right before you is one good example of a graphic design. Okay, this is called a brochure. All right, it's carrying information, some table of content, the theme, welcome Azure horizon, and a lot of things. Okay, look at another good example of a graphic design. So let's search for logo. So can you see? Can you see right before you? So everything that you see here is a good example of what? A graphic design, because this has to do with what? Visual representation, and then it has to do with what? At least bringing forth meaning. Okay, it's giving out meaning. Now, before we continue, I would like you to have a look at this slide keynote. When people need to necessarily express something, usually with an aim toward promotion or information dispensing, the focus become how best to do that. This is typically talking about objectives of design. Now, what does a graphic designer do? Listen, when a graphic designer gets graphic design job, be it a poster design, book design, web design, or advertisement, he has to start by asking himself the necessary fundamental questions. All right, what are those questions? What is the objective of the communication? One, what needs to be said first, then next, and then after? So that is called a level of what? Hierarchy. Okay, assuming you are being given a job, the first thing first to note is at least try and sit down and configure what really the design is all about. What is the objective of the design, right? So when you get to know the objective of the design, the first question that should prompt in your mind as a professional graphic designer is what needs to be said first, and then next, and then after that. Okay, the next third question you have to ask yourself is, how do you want the eye to flow through the page? What is flow through the page first? Or what did this line mean? Okay, please, let's go back to our inspirational site, behance.net. So this is a typical example of a flyer, and with this I want to illustrate what that question really means. Okay, now if you look at it, this is a brochure, and it was being divided into a three section. Now from the first section we're able to have some menu, some lists. Okay, mixed shawarma, some lists with its own prices. Then at the middle we're able to have what? The company name, Shawarma King Restaurant, okay, and its logo, right? And then it's about page, right, or about details information. Then beneath that is the contact information. Okay, then by the last line we're able to have some picture image, some clear definition of what the whole thing is all about via a picture. All right, so what are we trying to say here? Now the level of arrangement, that is how you want the eye flow to be. All right, is you as a professional graphic designer will sit down and then get to know what is the objective of design, and then how will I want my design look like. Do I want it in such a way that picture will come first, or the theme, or the logo, or something? Which one? All right, is you that will sit down and then what? Design your presentation, how your flyer you would like people to read all through. Okay, what is the tone of voice is also very important. Question number 4. Now, what is a tone of voice? This typically is trying to tell you that it's not all design. All right, that let's say for instance a client comes to you and asks you to design a cosmetic flyer for her. Okay, now your tone of voice really matters. We all know that cosmetic has to do with color tone of either pink, light pink, baby pink, light amber color, a light brown color, or something, a skinner color or something. All right, then as a professional graphic designer, you have to know your tone of voice. Okay, know what you are designing, and then know the tone you are to use. Okay, if the design has to do with maybe children or baby, you have to use like a harmonic color, okay, for your design. Your tone of voice is very important. You can't just go ahead trying to design a cosmetic flyer using maybe green color that at least send aesthetic meaning of agriculture or something. Is totally wrong as a professional graphic designer. Please bear in mind that the tune is also important. Okay, question number 5: who are you speaking to? Yes, your audience really matters, guys. Who are you speaking to? Now it's very possible for you to receive artworks or graphic artworks from your client asking you to design to a set of all age people. Okay, so with that, if you know that your audience are of all age, you have to what, make a good presentation, and then at least let your visuals be very, very clear. You all know that maybe people of age will have a difficulties in sight, with sight problem. Okay, then you have to make your design to be what, very, 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 very big. Fundamental question number 2: what need to be said first, and then next, and then after that? I already explained more about that. Okay, it's called the hierarchy of design. Once you have figured out what the objective of your communication is, you will want to think about what need to be said first and foremost, and what it should follow after that. Fundamental question number 3: how do you want the user's eyes to move around the page? I think we discussed that so deeply too. Okay, the hierarchy mentioned above, along with elements like color, contrast, size, etc., will automatically make your viewer's eyes go through the page in a certain way. This can be manipulated as per your intention. Yeah. So fundamental question number 4, just as I explained to us earlier, who are you speaking to? Yeah, you have to be very sure about this, as different people need to be spoken to differently, just the way it is in real life. Fundamental question number 5: what is the tone of your voice? I explained this very, very deep onto us. Only once you have got the above figure out can you think about more external element of your piece of work. Now let me explain something little here. It's not necessary for you to gather all graphic design elements in a single flyer design or artwork design or something like that. No, if you pass your message very clear and if it is beautiful, that's all right. Any other external element or piece of work should come, maybe if necessary. Okay. Then history of graphic design. Yes, this graphic design is born of art and technology. It's true. But I will be sharing with you these slides, okay, either on the description of this video in our WhatsApp platform or our Google Classroom, okay, for your own perusal, so that you take your time and understand some basic things you need to know about the history, about the involvement of what graphic design. Then next is element of graphic design. The element of graphic design. All right, guys, this is very, very important, because if you can be able to identify some element of graphic design, then yes, you are good to go. You should be able to at least come up with something tangible as a professional in his own field, being fully aware about the different element of what graphic design. So number 1 on the list is line, 2 shape, 3 texture, 4 size, 5 value, 6 font, and then 7 is called 6 color, and 7 is called the font. So what is a line? Now, line mark connected 2 points. All right, line typically connects, or it marks by connecting what, 2 points. It can be either a straight line, curve, fat, thin, squiggly, dash, pattern. And lines are also used to organize information, highlight, connect, and what, it outline object. Line is very, very important. Guys, all shapes are made up of line. Quickly with me, let's go to my Photoshop. All right, this is my Photoshop. Let me draw a line. So from here to here is a line, right? Okay, if I draw another line here, I form a complete what, angle. Okay, now how did this angle come into existence? Guys, it's through the help of what, one element of graphic design, which is called what, a line. Okay, so it helps us to outline this object, all right, so that we can fill up with color, and then boom, we're able to have what, a shape. Now it also helps us to create a grid. Now it also helps us to create a grid line, chart, or graph. It creates a pattern oriented through many lines. It directs readers' eyes. Yes, it's true. Line does that. It creates a sense of motion, suggests emotion, and a lot more. Shape, which is the second one, it has height and then width. All right. As we all know, it's through the help of shape that we were able to place images in different forms of what of shapes. Okay, so shapes are cycles, or it can be in the form of a triangle, squares, rectangle, structured, good building blocks for graphic design, a lot of things. Okay, and we also have a different kind or type of shape, which is the regular, irregular, and then abstract, right? So coming to the irregular, which is natural, we have a shape of animal, plants, humans, okay, which doesn't have a definite shape. Okay, so these are called irregular what shapes or fluid. Then as we continue, we have the abstract shapes. Okay, shapes like icons, stylish figure, and what graphic illustrations. Texture, which simply mean image. Okay, this texture have a look or feel of a surface, and it also give overall feel to something. It provoke emotion, adds richness, and what and a depth. Please continue to the other example, or let's say element of one good element of graphic design is size. How large or small something is. Large items are more important and it attract attention. Okay, it add construct between element, it create consistent thing, can be used to give the impression of what 3D or distance. Yes. Okay, this is one example of what element, or one part of what the element of a graphic design. Value is very very important. How light or dark an area is called what a value. All right, so this is used to lead eye, it create pattern, it give the illusion of volume or depth, add drama, emphasis, and it arrange object in front or behind of each other. All right guys, let's go back to our Photoshop again. Let me take away this. All right, let's bring it. Now assuming we have a shape, a rectangle shape like this. Okay, now I can reduce the opacity value of this shape to something like this. All right guys, now you should be able to see that at least as I reduce the opacity down to, let's say, 17, we are now capable of what seeing what is behind the object. Okay, you see how value is very important. Just get to know that even value is what an element of graphic design. Okay, if you see something, or like let's say if you see a graphic design, or one good example of a flyer, you should be able to know all the written or all the elements that that design comprises of. Okay, so value is very very important. Let's continue. Color as an element of a graphic design, it is a combination of red, green, and blue. Yes, this is the traditional definition of color. Simple. Red, green, and blue is what a color, right? So any other color is comprises of these three. Yes, it's true. So this color I use to highlight, attract the eye, signal importance, it creates mood, tie elements together, organize, group, and what provoke emotion. Most importantly, let me stretch on it creates mood. Really really really, color has its own like meaning. There is this psychological perception of color, right? So just as I mentioned earlier on, if you see a design that is more greener or something, at least this connotes what a perception of what agriculture, growth, or something, right? It's very very important. This is another good example of what sorry, I've been saying example. No, this is a good element of graphic design. Now with this, we've come to the end of this session. So see you again in our coming class. Bye.